guys, this video is going to be a bit different from my usual videos because we just got the Deltarune announcement trailer like a couple days ago. This video is going to be unscripted, though I've already seen the trailer a couple times and have made some bullets for talking points, so hopefully I'm not too rambly. But without further ado, let's play the video. I wasn't actually able to watch the direct live, but from what I've heard, people really freaked out when they saw this. And I can imagine. I really enjoy this sequence because it feels very representative of the dynamic between the three main party members. Because Chris had to work to get Susie to, be friendly with them. And Ralsei just showed up and stayed. And he was just there. Even if Chris said, "What are you doing here?" he probably would have just been like, "I'm here to help you out." And then just keep going. But it's also kind of like the tease. Chris is neutral on Ralsei, but Susie, they really care about. They're willing to go above and beyond for her, or at least make an effort for her to help her out. So that's kind of what's represented in this trailer, because Chris is kneeling down to help Susie out, but Ralsei just showed up. So I don't know. This part, when I first saw it, I went through frame by frame to see if there were any new Darkners. The only new Darkner is the Shadow Man, who is new, but we've definitely seen him before. But we can see Rabbik, we can see Task Manager, we can see Rules, we can see Round, we can see Queen, we can see Happy, we can see Rudin, the Worm, Mr. Elegance, Newbert, Lancer. There's a Swatch, Pop-Up, Virakun, and Addison. And then we've got some of the... This is an awesome inclusion, I think. Because, yes, this is a game that has Undertale characters, and this is definitely a main selling point for people who enjoyed Undertale. Look, Sans Undertale's here! But the best part of this is he chose to include the line that says, "I'm just the janitor." It's straight up Sans saying, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm not important. I'm just the janitor." And I think that's a perfect inclusion for this. Toby knew what he was doing. Spammed him because, of course. This is, this was shown in the Spampton sweepstakes, but I think this is more fleshed out. I love Susie's outfit. Chris and Ralsei's outfits are good too, but Susie's is awesome. I love it. I want it. This seems to be a thing that was added because of the Switch 2 with the mouse controls. It's kind of interesting how there's cat faces down here. Some people think, oh, it's Friend. And I'm actually not sure if this is Friend's eyes. No, this is reversed from Friend's eyes. So this is actually Spampton's eye colors. Because Friend's eyes, the left side is yellow and the right side is pink. And Spampton's, at least in his base form, are pink on the left side and yellow on the right side. And then it's flipped when he goes to Neo. So it's kind of interesting that they chose Spampton colors, but it could be a coincidence. Although for the Mad Mew Mew fight in Undertale, they explicitly used red and blue because those are the generic Joy-Con colors. And I don't think the Switch 2 has pink and yellow, so I don't know. I love this. Chris is so gender. I love their outfit. It's awesome. Susie is a smear frame. Ralsei's outfit is awesome as well. Susie is no longer a smear frame. Some people thought these were new characters. It says popularity, which it could be, but I'm pretty sure it's just like kind of similar to the Metaton EX fight where you're just trying to get ratings. It looks like it says Lightner's Live in the back. 57 combo, 84 combo. So it's definitely a rhythm game. And I'm excited for it. This, the fact that Susie is like sepia toned instead of her usual colors is interesting to me, because I feel like that's definitely a weird break. Chris is also weird colors, but I think when they're being thrown, they're normal colors, which is interesting. Like, once they grab onto this, they're gray toned. And these are like stained glass windows, kind of. And Chris is grabbing along, so there's definitely something going on. Susie is also climbing. Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I like how it's showing the bosses. Like, it shows King, it shows Giga Queen, it's showing presumably Tenna right now. And I'm not sure if this will actually appear in game. It would be really cool if it did, but it also feels very different from the rest of the game, so I'm not so sure. There's the Deltarune on the tiles. These kind of look like little ghosty guys. Or also a little bit like the fuzzies from Mario. And they look like they're being chased by them, and they're also coming up, so still reminiscent of Mario fuzzies. But Chris has their sword out, so they might be chasing someone. We can't really see because it's dim on the other side, but you can still kind of see the tiles. Susie is also running, but she's a lot slower than Chris, which is interesting because I wouldn't have imagined that. This animation is really pretty, and it opens up into like a save point, which is interesting. And then Deltarune, it's coming out launch day, which will be awesome. I am very excited for that. Not long after this, the Deltarune page was updated. It's now got a countdown timer until it releases, which is awesome. It's got the trailer again. It's coming to all these consoles. Hooray, I guess. I don't know. This is basically what it's already had. The only image from later in the game it's got on the website is this, which is the Shadow Men again. And you've got ammo, and every time you fire, it uses ammo. I think it goes down one by one, but everybody shoots, so it's multiplied by 3. This looks like it's from a console because it's got the D-pad and fire with Y, so it's definitely a console or a controller of some sort. This is interesting because Susie's facing down, which you can't really do unless, like, you've come from up here. Thanks for checking that. That's wrong, which is interesting. This actually also looks like it's from a later chapter, because Sans is outside in chapter 1, but it's closed, and now it's open, but he's still outside. I want to know what's wrong. We'll find out in 2 months, I guess. Besides that, it's just the stuff that's already been here. So let's look at the Steam page, where it's got the trailer again. I think this is the Japanese version, which it's kind of funny to me that the Japanese version is before the English version. But yeah, here's the English version. It's the same thing again. We've got chapter 1, It's mostly chapter 1. There's some chapter 2. The first thing that's new stuff is Jockington growing a beard, which is interesting to me because I can't imagine Jockington's growing a beard in chapter 3. Like, that's in Chris's house. Unless he broke in, that seems kind of absurd. So they're skipping chapter 3 entirely, seemingly. So this is chapter 4. These kind of look like bells. They kind of look like presents as well. They kind of look like baubles. They kind of also look like bombs, but I think I've just been looking at them too much. They look kind of like Rudin, but not too much. But they do have like the spades and the similar colors scheme. I just called those spades. They're diamonds. They have the diamonds. These look like hearts, kind of, so maybe they've got the suits. I'm not sure. This is basically the same. He messed that up. But then there's the newsletter that came out like an hour-ish after the trailer. Release date, it's coming out June 5th. I am very excited for that. It's going to cost $25, which is a good price because Deltarune is going to be awesome. I am very happy about this. It's very reasonable. Toby charging only for what there currently is makes sense. That feels very in line, considering it sounds like the scope expanded while he was developing 3 and 4. So if he charges for like a certain price and then the scope expands or contracts while he's doing the rest of the game, he's not charging for the accurate price. So this makes sense. I am very excited. You can buy the soundtrack on Steam. It'll be $15. You can get it on Bandcamp. Spamton. I like how Toby Dog is inside the wallet. He ate the money. You wishlist it on Steam. They're all eating Steam. I'm not sure that's how you wishlist things, but okay. Console differences. So this is the room with the pink and yellow, with 2 controllers at once, or 2 mouse controls even. All the other versions will also have the same room, but it'll be a different control scheme. It's basically the same. Everyone gets Pluie. This is mentioning a post Toby made at some point on Blue Sky saying they implemented Pluie, which a lot of people were not sure if this was actually real or not. I think it is kind of real. It's probably an internal name for something. There were people thinking, oh, maybe it's talking about achievements for PlayStation, I think. But since everyone gets it, it's not. I kind of feel like it might be the code name for like the Switch 2 room. Wait, but I'm not so sure. I think in the other differences, unique special small room, either this is an extra room or it's unique because it's the only one playing with 2 mouse controls at once. Being able to import saves from the Switch demo is good. Like, just being able to import files from there anyways is very important, and it's very good. This is funny. Yeah, there's trophies on the PS4, and Toby feels bad about it, I think. Maybe. No, I don't think so. We were required to have trophies. This time they give rise to a pretty hardcore challenge, but please listen. I make no endorsement that you will actually attempt it. Even knowing of its mere existence will only bring you frustration and anguish. Honestly, it may be one of the worst ideas I've ever had. Perhaps no one will even try. Maybe that's for the best after all. I think it will be too late for most of you anyways. This kind of makes me think it's like the I think it's called Touch Grass for Stanley Parable, where you don't open the game for several years. I could kind of imagine that's what it is, but I feel like that would be hard to test and very cruel. It could also be like no hit the entire game or go through everything without skipping. I think Shay mentioned that as an idea. The game's coming out. Isn't that swell? He looks like he's in pain. Seriously, I've been duct taped over, tied to a chair, locked in a box, thrown to the bottom of the ocean, dragged around like an anchor, etc., etc. That's what it was like up until now. Now I can say it. Deltarune Chapters 1 through 4 release on June 5th, 2025. Isn't that swell? Which, this is very exciting. I am very excited for this to happen. So some people mentioned that this Year Early page might be in reference. This is from the Spamton Sweepstakes. It's Damn You Tenna. Some people mentioned that this might be talking about, oh, you're early because Deltarune hasn't come out yet. And it says, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. And the page is called You're Early. It still says You're Early, so I'm not so sure. There's also deltarune.com/TV, where it's off, and that's all it says. And some people thought, oh, it might turn on when we get a release date or something, but that doesn't seem to have happened. I'm very excited for this, though. I think at some point, I don't know where, there was a stealth zone image. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Here. There's this stealth zone, which has the sneaking sprites from a previous newsletter where Toby said there was a sneaking segment, but he realized it was just going to be kind of agonizing, so he cut it, and he gave some cut music, but it's seemingly still in the game with this. It's also got these borders, which seem to be Tenna, or statues of Tenna. There's some people who think they might just be generic NPCs like the Addisons, but I can't really imagine that because it's got these statues. But if Toby kept these and actually did implement them in the game, which it looks like it did, these noodly things in the bottom look kind of like something from a previous newsletter. If he kept this in the game, he might have kept the 5 minutes of mildly entertaining shootout action, which would be very fun because I was excited for those. Is it bluebubble.rodeo, I think. Yeah. So these were cut supposedly in a newsletter, and the way he said that they were cut, that's what caused Woody theory mostly. So it'd be kind of annoying if they were added back in, just because then people can't really trust what Toby says entirely, which would be disappointing to me because honestly I'm not super a fan of Woody theory, just because it's taking a lot of, wow, Toby said this, he must have lied and did this. But I don't know. If he has this, then who knows. And then there was also from the Steam page, I think. Yeah, here. It's got lyrics, which is interesting. This is also different from the other one because Ralsei has a 129 combo and Chris has a 109 combo. Chris had an 84 combo before. And the lyrics say, "Which shall guide you the way," which it feels very in line with the vibe of Don't Forget. And I could very much imagine like these being sung to Don't Forget. I think somebody already made like a rock version of Don't Forget with these outfits, which is cool. But like I can very much imagine this being like an extension of Don't Forget and having the Don't Forget motif, or just straight up being Don't Forget. I don't know. I think that's everything. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. I probably touched on a lot of stuff other YouTubers did, but if I said anything unique or interesting, let me know. I'd love to know that this wasn't a waste of time. I have some other videos in the works that will hopefully, at least one of them will hopefully come out before Deltarune. Hopefully. I have a coffee. Some friends and I made a Deltarune theorizing server called Darkheart, which we are currently very excited for the trailer there. But that's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!